Hi, guys. Thank you so much for listening to the Gig Economy podcast. Real quick, just want to touch base on our sponsors, Irvine's Auto Repair and Grand Rapids Hybrid, 532-6600, or schedule online, irvines.com. Local veteran-owned company, woman-owned, badass group of women that run that company and the badass mechanics that work on your cars. They work on basically everything except Volkswagen, I think. Did you hear that? Volkswagen. Again, 532-6600. We can't thank Irvine's Auto Repair and Grand Rapids Hybrid enough for supporting our show. Also, if you would like more content before pre-show banter and some merch, we would love for you to support us on Patreon. You go to patreon.com/gigeconpodcast. There you can find us. You can talk. Jeez, it's been late. It has been late. I have been editing out sniffs. If you didn't watch the live podcast, I had terrible allergies, so I listened to the entire podcast tonight and edited. That's a weird word. Edited those out. So, sorry, I'm a little rambly. So, yes, if you want extra perks, an extra podcast a month, merch, and the pre-show banter for $10 a month, that would really help us out. So if you go to patreon.com/gigeconpodcast, or if you just go to Patreon and in the search bar, Google or search Gig Economy Podcast, we will pop up. All right, guys, enjoy the show. Hi, guys. Welcome to the Gig Economy Podcast. What's up? Thank you so much for joining us tonight. We super appreciate everyone tuning in. Hopefully you got a quick peek of the picnic. Was super fun.
Footage was pretty nice.
Great fun.
Yeah, that drone footage was really nice. Didn't have as many people as we would have liked, but, you know, it is what it is with COVID, and those are the kind of the things, and
We still did it.
we still did it, yes. So,
It was awesome.
Yeah, it was.
There's 2 people on YouTube. Wow.
yeah. Yeah. So tonight, the studio sponsor is Irvine's Auto Repair, as always, in Grand Rapids Hybrid. They also sponsored the picnic, and we appreciate that. If you can do me a favor, we'd love for you guys to watch on YouTube and subscribe and like and put the bell to get a notification. Also, to get all of our stuff, if you want to download the podcast, you can go to gigeconomy-podcast.com. That's where you can download on Spotify or Stitcher. I don't think Stitcher's on there, but anywhere you get podcasts, you can do that. Mm-hmm. Or if you're having trouble finding it, you can just go to the website, gigeconomy-podcast.com. So we got Sam, Jesper, and Pete.
Hello.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
What does that even mean?
Whoop, whoop.
What just means celebrations.
Hey, I want to say real quick, jump over to Irvine's Facebook page as well and like that page. They'll like that.
Yeah,
that'll help us out too. So,
yeah, that's a good. They had a kind of a bad day today. One of their loaner cars got schmucked. What even word is that? Schmucked. So yeah, that would be great. That's a good idea. I should encourage people to
try.
Like, was it being loaned at the time?
Yeah, I was out as a loaner.
Oh,
But the person was fine.
That's good.
Nothing happened. So yeah.
Well, we don't know that.
It says so right there.
Oh, does it?
The picture said the person was fine.
Oh, okay.
Well, something like that.
I'm like,
well, we don't know that.
Yeah,
I'm just making shit up. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, do we know
He
that?
just wants us to feel good. That's
Right.
fine.
So, story since last podcast.
Well, we had somebody join our group.
I'm not there yet, but thanks for jumping
But
ahead.
no, you weren't.
You want to run the show?
No.
Okay.
That's fine. Go ahead.
Go ahead. You've already interrupted.
No.
Go ahead.
I was following the lineup.
Children.
And the new person who joined was above that. So
Go ahead.
no, it's fine. I don't have any stories.
He doesn't want to say it. It makes him uncomfortable.
What? The name?
No. Her name is Cass.
So we did have a new person join the group. Her name is Cass Hole.
Like
That's her username.
like casserole.
Oh, is that her username?
Yeah.
I know. I'm being sarcastic.
What a casshole.
Shit.
I'm assuming it's Cassie. We
Cassandra.
don't actually know, but yeah, you can join our Telegram group. It's in the description in the Facebook page. Click on that link, and you can chat with us and have inappropriate gifts and whatever. It is a very adult group, so if you're
There's
offended,
very few of those.
yeah, if you're offended easily,
Jason hasn't been much there, so there's very few of them now.
It's been
Right.
better. Yeah.
it's been better.
I mean, I did share footage of a cannon shooting a donut at a butt earlier. So
Oh, did you?
I did.
Okay,
So
that would be kind of funny.
it was.
I'm a
It's
little thrown off by the boob gifts. That one kind of little like might be a little inappropriate, but as long as we put out the warning that it's adult
Right.
not NC-17.
No,
You can't
not
say
quite
that
that
because
bad.
that means there's nudity.
It's
There's no
definitely
nudity.
PG-13.
Definitely.
No, it's definitely R.
It's usually PG-13.
Okay.
With touches of R on occasion.
Fair enough. So no stories. I am actually planning on going out this weekend. Sam, you have anything going on? You've been working this week?
I mean, I worked on Monday. Tuesdays and Wednesdays are just garbage.
Yeah, they're pretty
They're
slow.
hot piles of garbage. So
Yeah.
I just stayed home. But like I started Amazon back up, did 3 routes. They were all very good.
Good.
I got lucky. Yeah, I
Like-
got really lucky.
Good route, like good as far as pay and route.
Yeah, they've all been 23. And then like the one was 2 packages, not that far away. So I was done in 25 minutes. And then I got a Norton Shores route, still on 45 minutes early. Then I had a Jenison route, and I was done in 2 hours.
I mean, everything's good
So-
except the Norton Shores because that's a little bit of a drive.
It was, but considering I got done 45 minutes early, and it was the end of my day, like I had done enough grocery shopping earlier in the day that I was done.
oh,
so
well, that's good.
yeah, it was good.
I don't understand Amazon. I gotta tell you real quick. I got a package today. I got 2 cans of deodorant,
Mm-hmm.
like aerosol spray, and they were in 2 different packages. It was the same order. I ordered them at the same time.
Yes.
2 are the exact same, yet they come in 2 packages at the same time.
You know what probably happened? They probably someone like I'm sure it has a machine that does it that either drops it in and sealed it up, and they're like, ah, crap, we needed 2.
Probably, yeah.
Why don't you just buy a twin pack?
Well, I thought I did, but
Oh, did it
No,
show?
I don't know.
Oh,
It
okay.
was just 2, but whatever.
Well,
It was
even that
just-
when you select like the delivery option on Amazon, where it's deliver later and less packages, it still comes in like 6 packages. Like it doesn't come in
Wait,
less
so-
packages.
2 deodorants in 6 packages.
No.
How do you do that?
No.
Oh, okay. Is that some assembly required?
Yeah. There you go.
Anyways, I'm gonna let everyone know I have terrible allergies, so if I sniff, I'm sorry. Sam already yelled at me once. She's like, "You can't do that," but I'm already on the struggle bus, and we're like 6 minutes in. So
Jason.
I'll try to mute my mic, and hopefully that helps. But
Miguel is on YouTube.
Yeah.
yeah, because we didn't go to Twitch. We're only doing YouTube and Facebook tonight. So, all right, let's just talk about Irvine's real quick before we get into it. You can call them at 532-6600. Why we got no sound? There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, or irvines.com. And like Jesper said, please go like their page. Follow them. They do actually put some interesting blog articles out just about repair crap. So,
They talk about all the cool things they can do. That's
No.
what Jason meant to say.
I didn't say their crap. I was just saying repair crap. So,
Oh, Jason.
yeah, go to irvines.com or to schedule. You can do everything online. They sanitize everything. In fact, I had my car in on Friday when I went to pick it up. Jamie brought it out with a wipe on it, and she had already wiped my keys. I didn't wipe the loaner keys off when I handed them back to her. I went,
No. Oh,
My God.
yeah. I mean, even when I went
Got him.
at the beginning of all this nonsense, they just had like little magnetic hooks on the door.
Yeah,
and
they
you just
still
dropped
do.
Your keys up there. You didn't have to talk to anybody. And
well, it's funny. I tried to go in there, and the door
you to
was
get out.
the door was locked. Like that. What'd you say?
I told you to get out.
Yeah, that too.
Speaking of keys on the door, have you guys seen those privacy keys? What are they, like those things you can put on?
Oh, the hook.
Yeah, it's like a hook. What do you think about those?
I mean,
It's just kind of a.
as long as you sanitize after you're done. I mean, what's
It's
the
kind of a
What are you
weird thing. Right?
talking about?
I have no
So
idea.
it's a little hook you can put on your key ring, right?
Uh-huh.
And so instead of you using your hand to open the door, you hook the door and use it to open with. Or if you push it in, there's a side of that thing you can actually use to push in with. So you don't have to ever hold.
But what
touch
happens
the
if
handles
it's a
on
door
doors.
handle that
I
turns
feel like I'd
this?
have to call people Captain Hook if they walked around using one of
Sounds like a
those.
lot of extra work when you could just wash your hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we all should be washing our hands more, anyways. So, but I have seen those.
Anyways,
I am not saying I'm going to buy one.
Where's the hook?
Yeah. If anything, I would.
they need
just
to talk to
take
you
a
about the
wipe with me.
commercial, huh? This is good.
Yeah, you want to do an ad spot for them?
Yeah, apparently so.
All right, so we're gonna jump right into the gig economy news, and
well.
we're kind of gonna bump a story up because we're talking about
Oh yeah.
It's the
California.
hot news of the hour.
California. So this week here, we want to preface by saying this article is 7 days old.
Yeah,
And there was some new stuff coming out yesterday, and it's all kind of up right now as to whether or not Uber is going to leave California.
And Lyft.
Well, yes, rideshare drivers in general. But anyway, so this article goes here. Uber CEO says its service will probably shut down temporarily in California if it's forced to classify drivers as employees. I saw something today, real fast on this, that they were talking, I think, about possibly
Franchise?
Exactly, yeah, doing the franchise models. All of a sudden,
Well,
they're not.
I had that article for next week because we ran out of room. But yeah, I read that
They're
too.
not they're not what are they? They're no longer contract workers. Now they're franchise owners.
Hey, if Uber's gonna make some money, they're
I
gonna
mean-
figure out a way to do it.
Good
feel like-
luck with that. That'll be a lot easier for you, idiots. Sorry.
Plus, I mean, wouldn't they be required to give drivers a lot more flexibility as a franchise owner?
I don't know. Not necessarily. They can pretty much write the rule book as to exactly how they want to do to allow them to use the Uber brand as a franchise.
You know,
owner.
I didn't read the article, but did you read it?
No.
I'm just wondering if it's legit or if
I
it
don't
give
know.
any
It
details.
was probably BS, but who knows? But it was just
But it would be kind of cool if, like, you would be like a fleet owner, right? So I would own the franchise.
Well,
in,
only a fleet owner if you wanted to, and they depends on exactly how they write up. I mean, a franchise owner doesn't have to be geographically specific. So
oh,
you don't have. It's all about who owns the franchise. They can write the rules about the franchise.
This is why the number one reason why being a franchise owner is a terrible idea.
why?
You get into an accident.
Yeah, because then you're liable.
Well, you'll
You're
hopefully have a huge insurance policy.
100%
Yeah.
on the hook
Yeah.
for all legal, because if you're a franchise owner, that's your business.
Well, you
But
don't
that-
think corporate would?
No.
No.
I don't think they can.
No.
I don't think
When I was-
technically they can for the insurance.
Right. When I was part of a franchise of a restaurant chain,
Was it a train?
anything legal that happened to our franchise
It was just to your
was
franchise.
just to our franchise. Now, anything
Huh.
that happened at a corporate level, they would cover.
Okay.
But,
But if one of your drivers like
Yeah,
schmuck something up,
that's out of your pocket.
huh? Well, maybe we don't want to do that.
Crazy.
No, I wouldn't
So,
want to be a
anyways,
franchise
the
owner.
key point of this article is Uber would like to shut down temporarily for several months if a court does not overturn a recent ruling requiring it to classify its drivers as full-time employees. We know that part. Uber and rival Lyft both have about a week left to appeal a preliminary injunction granted by a California judge on Monday. This was last week, so it's just about up over where they have to do that. And if the appeal doesn't work out for Uber, it will bank on voters to determine its fate in voting on Proposition 22, which would exempt drivers for app-based transportation and delivery companies from being considered.
So they're
employees.
just waiting on a ruling, and if it doesn't happen, then they're pulling out tomorrow.
If it doesn't get overturned, yes, then they have to pull out, and I think it is tomorrow.
Well, they don't have to, but
They're
they're
choosing
going
Well,
to.
Yes, because if yes, but they'll be forced to call them employees and all the other stuff. Now, the article does talk about the CEO was talking about a third model where both Uber and Lyft would pay into a pool that the drivers could pull money out from based on how much they drive. So it's kind of a middle ground. Like the big thing the drivers want is they want health insurance, they want benefits, right? And so they can kind of pull out based on how much they drive. They would be able to pull some of that money out.
I don't know.
From this pool. So that would be like their third model.
So the question is, and I know, Jason, you said you talked about, you and I actually talked about it a little bit. I think maybe you said you and Jesper did as well, but
Right.
what happens to Uber and Lyft if they pull out of the biggest state?
Oh,
Nothing.
the thing the article
think so?
The thing the article is mentioning is that it's actually coming on a pretty opportune time because the rides is already down crazy much in those areas.
Yeah.
So they don't really think that it's going to affect Uber or Lyft very much. It'll affect the areas.
And the remaining people who are out driving will be shafted.
Right, exactly.
But
Did
no.
Did I share an article, or was that for? Is that? Wasn't there an article about that? Maybe I shared that on social. I think maybe I should have done it for the podcast. That Uber Eats is not going to be affected by this.
Yes. So yeah, Uber Eats is considered independent of Uber rideshare.
But how does that? They still have to be.
How would that work?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't know where I did with what I did with the article.
I've seen the articles on the ladies' pages a few times over the last few days that for the Uber rideshare was sued, but Uber Eats was not sued.
So you can stay being an Uber Eats driver.
Right now. Because delivery drivers, I think, have different regulations. I don't know why.
Well, I thought no, because
It's
the
different.
AB5 was supposed to be for it could be for
That was for
Any
all
gig
gigs.
worker.
strippers.
Yeah.
I remember that was a
any
big thing.
1099.
Right. Well, that's Uber Eats.
Right. I don't know why it is different for them, but for some reason, or Uber is just not fighting for their Eats division right now, and they're going to let that happen.
Yeah.
But when it comes, because that's not that, maybe a big enough chunk that they care about. I don't know.
I'll have to find that article. I just tried to log into my
So
account,
Daniel is on Facebook and he's writing, how can California be the biggest state if according to local drivers have been proven they make if lucky $150 a day. Daniel says, I make $200 a day and I've been wanting to jump to $500. So
Because the number of drivers.
exactly
The
that
sheer saturation of drivers they have.
so both Lyft and Uber is from California. This is that's where they started. So obviously that's where they've been the longest. And it's just exactly. The markets are saturated. There's so many drivers that
their driver per capita is much higher than it is other places.
And we saw that in Grand Rapids, which is our market. Our market. Let's do that again. No, Jason, he jumped. It was awesome.
Oh, that was sorry. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry.
So our market, Grand Rapids is a medium-sized market, and somebody's bringing up the Chicago is next. But Grand Rapids, we saw that ourselves before COVID. There was way too many drivers, right? And there was an area where a time where there's just unless you're driving in the most opportune times, there's just no rides. There's,
It was getting rough, especially in the summers. I mean, it was just
summers was always weird when there's no school, no college students and stuff like that. I still remember the guys who would camp out at the
and clean their cars.
Yeah.
And they must have been there all day sometimes.
I mean, I guess if you're retired and you hate your wife, I mean, I guess you can just sit out there and clean your car, but
play golf, mini golf,
have an
around.
affair at that point. Just go
Have
away.
an affair. Marriage advice from Sam on the King Economy podcast.
Yeah.
Ding, ding, ding. Is that another gig you're talking about?
There you go.
What's that? Oh, Ashley Madison.
Yeah,
that's
there
what
you
it
go.
is.
They can join Ashley Madison.
That scared the shit out of me, you guys. I'm still reeling from that.
How come? Did you have an account?
No,
the noise.
sound.
Oh, the noise. I thought it was Ashley Madison that scared you.
No. We will sponsor you though. You can sponsor the show. No, I was so intently listening to you, and then when that came through, I was like, "Did you see me jump? I literally jumped."
I was expecting Jesper to jump because he normally does, but
it was fine.
But my question is, what do you guys think? With Prop 22, do you think voters are going to be like, "Yeah, we miss our ride share. We don't care if they are paid fairly or not. Let's just get our ride share back."
I think they will, because if Uber, I can't believe Uber will, or the rideshare companies are actually going to stop giving rides.
So the person at this article says it ends with they're talking to one of the politicians. Anyways, he said basically it ends with a quote saying, "Any business model that relies on shortchanging workers in order to make it probably shouldn't be anywhere, whether California or otherwise." So, I mean, the thing is, this person seems to think that they're shortchanging the riders. And again, I'll say now what I told you at the picnic. I think this is the drivers that has it all wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, no, you don't want to be employees.
No. Honestly, Uber could have avoided this.
Absolutely.
If they would have capped the number of drivers in the market,
right,
and not cut fares so dramatically to fight with Lyft, they could have prevented all this from happening.
Right.
Their drivers were happy for a long time.
Sure.
Very happy.
Mm-hmm. What happened is all of a sudden Uber did change the rules and the drivers didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But the problem was it wasn't anymore like the good old days.
Right.
Where people was easily making hundreds of dollars in a night or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I still remember some people who started out early in Grand Rapids. They said, in a weekend they would make $500, $600, $700.
Yeah.
Just on a Friday and a Saturday. I mean, when I had a good weekend with my Comfort, I had a Comfort.
We could do.
I would do 360, 350, 375
Yeah.
in a Friday and a Saturday, and I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, I've had $400 Fridays and Saturdays with
Right.
the XL option.
Right.
They're not every weekend, but they
course
have
not.
been.
Well, I have two questions. One, can you change your name to Comfort Queen
No.
now that you're a Comfort driver?
No.
And then who's saying that all the drivers want this? There's probably a lot of politicians that are lobbying to.
I'm sure
get
there's
this.
a handful of drivers who
Right.
have legitimately been shortchanged and have valid reasons to be like, you know what, I just want like insurance. I want to do this full time and I want insurance. But I don't think the majority of drivers feel this way.
No, I don't think so.
So again, going back to Facebook, Ted Lavi, I'm hoping I'm not killing your name. Sorry about if I am. But so he's asking, is Uber paying their drivers a fair wage? And then Daniel says, I'm wondering if he's answering the question, but he said maybe he's answering one of your questions.
He's responding to me about how they could have prevented it.
They could have prevented it. Pay fair pay to show the work we put out. I'm a veteran. I can't work, but the VA doesn't see rideshare as a job, more of a gig, so they allow me to make as much as I want, but as long as I'm not employed.
Oh.
So
that seems like a weird loophole.
Well, that's the government for you.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, here's the thing, though, Daniel. I know this is a dangerous topic. I think we are fair paid. I think it's fine.
No, I don't.
No, we're close.
Minimum
in this
ride.
market, but
Minimum ride should be our take home should be $5 on a minimum ride.
But
I've always thought that.
You decide when you want to go out, right?
Yeah.
You decide when you want to go out. When I was driving, I would average, unless it was a very, very poor weekend, I would always average $30 an hour. I can't see that as bad.
I wonder how many of the people who have complained about this are the people who wake up at noon and try to drive from like noon to 6 o'clock, and they're like, I'm not making any money.
Oh yeah, I'm sure a lot of it's drivers who don't drive in optimal hours, but at the same time, if Uber wants us out there driving during those non-optimal hours, there needs to be adequate compensation for us being available to them so they can make money. I get like during the bar crowd, they have no problem staffing those hours.
I think
we're fine.
Uber could easily fix this by charging the riders a little bit more.
Yes, I do too.
Because if you look at the difference between an Uber fare or a Lyft fare and a taxi cab fare, there's still a very large difference.
Oh, it's huge.
Sure.
Yeah.
You can
massive.
easily make up a lot of the money and
they
still
could
be
almost double
right.
their fares and still be cheaper than a cab and more reliable. It's still trackable on the app. You have the convenience
and be cleaner.
factor.
Well, here's the thing. Like, Jesper's really in tune with business, and it always says like, You can't be a bottom feeder. You have to raise your rates. Yeah. Are you going to lose some people? Well, of course you are, but you're making more money, so that's okay. Right. You can't just always be on the bottom and expect to be successful.
I mean, like during the daytime, they might lose some money, but I think when it's busy, I don't think it's going to matter which one costs more. People are going to want to go home, especially at night. Yeah, it's $5 more, $10 more. People don't care. Right. They want to go home.
When I was driving, and I agree 100%. When I was driving, I would drive Friday and Saturday, right? And I start at 9 and I end at 2:30. The nights where I know if I don't take the last 2.5 hours, I'm not going to make that average that I want. Mm-mm. So we talked about this a lot. A lot of it has to do with being smart when you drive.
Right.
And it has to do with knowing your market and being good at what you're doing. You can't just sit out there and turning down the rides because you don't think it's worth the money.
Right.
Or whatever it is. You got to do the work.
Yeah.
So could we get paid more? Absolutely. And could they raise the rate? Sure, they can. But I don't think it's such a bad model as it is. I guess that's my point.
Right.
Says really, the guy who's not driving.
Well, right, but that's because of COVID.
That's the one main recommendation I would have for Uber is just start capping your drivers.
And I've said that a long time.
People works so you can guarantee earnings just by limiting the driver pool without a dime coming out of your pocket.
Right.
And what people maybe have to wait 10 more minutes for their ride.
Right.
Boo-hoo.
Well, and the thing is, too, if they capped the drivers, there would also be, and this is the other part of it, right? There would be a more constant surge.
Right.
And we would have that problem solved that you said, if there is a more constant supply and demand, if there's a time where, and we can actually trust that the supply and demand model is working, then in the times during the night where there is fewer drivers on the road, the surge would press the ride fare up, and you would get more money.
But you're okay with Uber like capping the drivers during the day to keep? That's what y'all were talking about, right?
No,
when it's slower.
I've always said cap the drivers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Even if, again, I wouldn't be opposed to having like a scheduled system like Amazon where you sign up. You want to work from 9 to 2:30 on Fridays and Saturdays. That's when you get to log in, and that's it.
I've always thought
that's a great way to cap drivers.
Yeah, it is.
Keith says, how about paying by how much experience you have and or rating? The problem with that is the people who've been here, for 2, 3, 4, 5 years driving
right,
and have good rating, good experience are going to be heavily favored, and somebody who's trying to break in
we'll have a hard time.
Well, and the other thing too is
welcome to Shipped.
We need, exactly. Yeah. Another thing is the drivers would need a more control over the rating system because there's still too many passengers, riders
abusing
that just cause bullshit, right?
Yeah.
Plus, new drivers all start with the 5-star rating, and it takes some time for that to go down. So you may have, like a 4.92, which is a pretty solid rating.
Yeah, anything above a 4.9 with a lot of rides is
but
good.
Maybe, I think that could easily be overcome. You could just say that once you have 200 rides under your belt, now you will switch to the rate that's depending on your rate, if you will. But
the rating system definitely would have to be improved
yes.
for that to happen, because right now it heavily favors the riders.
Yeah.
And not the drivers.
It's always, if you look at a regular business model, they always favor the customer over the employee.
Oh, sure.
I can't say my work does, but
smaller businesses can trust their employees better to know that they're being honest. And if it's an actual business, like with a storefront, you have things on camera. You can say, oh, the customer was actually wrong here. You did everything right, which is not a freedom we have because Uber won't even review our dash cam footage.
They won't.
I'm telling you, I have a side hustle as well where I sell stuff on eBay, and no matter what, the customer is always right, and it pisses me off.
Yeah, they're always going to get their money back.
The customer, they will always grant the customer their money back, even though they write in stuff and saying it's my fault or whatever. They will end up getting their money back, and it's just, are you serious?
No, then you have to refund them?
Yeah, it comes out of my money, and I have to pay them. I have to pay them back to ship it back to me, and I have no control of it. Uber would just decide. No, not Uber. eBay just decides.
Oh, wow.
I mean,
it's ridiculous.
Those big companies, I mean...
Customers always right.
Well, and that who pays the bills? The customers do.
Yeah,
so that's why.
I pay $350 a week to use a month to use eBay.
Yeah.
That's gross.
We'll use another platform.
There is no other platform.
Well, then you better start designing.
Well, and I am, and I'm growing. I'm growing my other platform, but that's the part of it, right? If you want the easy in, if you will, then you got to tie into stuff like that.
Right.
Is it yesperbay.com?
No, it's not.
All right, let's wrap up these comments and then maybe move on.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
Ray John says 600 rides got deactivated for being under 25 on Lyft. I don't
not sure what that means.
Under 25 what?
Rides or?
Daniel says I have 1,026 ride. I've been on and off a lot through the years. That's why I love it. I work he works when he's on his downtime. Again, if you're an employee, you're gonna have to.
You have to work.
Work a schedule.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Yep. I think we have. I don't know. I have about 4,000 rides. Jason, what do you have?
Probably around there. I haven't looked in a while.
So. I mean, that's roughly where we are at, $3,000 to $4,000, 3,000 to 4,000 rides. But that's because you were a full timer for a while.
You don't have more than Gabe. Gabe
doesn't stop.
In our Grand Rapids group, Gabe's got the most rides of anyone. So
did he ever get the 10 grand? What was that? He got a $10,000 check.
Oh, I don't. No, he didn't get that. But he's got 10,000 rides.
What was it you got if you had 10,000 rides?
Yeah, you had to have 25,000 rides.
Oh, I get you.
Yeah. He might have gotten something, but he didn't get the full.
So, Daniel, no, I didn't point out our rides to say that we are the master. That's not the point. The point is we've been kind of doing it for a long time as well. And we have seen the price models change. And I remember us saying when you first went from the percentage surge to the flat surge, you were all like scared about it and all that stuff. But it really wasn't that bad.
No, because they do actually bother to increase that flat rate when it's appropriate to do so.
Everyone thought it was the end of the world, including me.
I know.
But they didn't tell us they were going to do that. Just because it says +4, you could still get +25 if you're going to Holland. So that changes things.
Right. And then
which Lyft isn't really doing.
Some of the adrenaline is still there, right? So
all right, let's move on.
Moving on. Sorry, guys.
No, don't say sorry. It was a good conversation. Had a lot of good chatter about it. So DoorDash has launched a digital storefront, which is kind of like what was GoPuff, Puff Go. What is that damn thing that's supposed to come in Grand Rapids?
It's Puff Go.
Yeah,
is it Puff Go? So
it's still not here.
It's still not here. Yep. It's basically an online convenience store. Chips, ice cream, spices, packaged food, condoms, sex toys.
Oh, sorry. I was just mentioning Larry. He thinks his car aged out with Uber finally. Now he can only drive Eats.
Oh, well.
Oh, no.
Sorry, Larry.
It works perfect now.
Yeah.
So, there's going to be about 2,000 items in the DashMart warehouse. Associates pick up, pack the orders, and deliver. And then delivery workers, known as dashers, come to collect the order and deliver to the customer. So I think it's great. I need to see more of this. I am so lazy sometimes that I want a Monster, and I'm like, I don't want to go to the store.
Oh, you mean, bitch, bring me ice cream, whiskey?
Yeah. I didn't say bitch, did I?
Didn't. But I could hear it even though you hadn't said it.
I probably did say it in my head.
Probably.
But, I mean, what a great little service.
So they rolling this out nationwide, or are they testing it in a few markets probably?
Partner 1,800 convenience stores. Virtual storefront comes a few months.
It's a virtual storefront.
Yeah.
So basically, they're still getting it all from like CVS, I think, but you're just ordering it through DoorDash.
Oh, okay. Because he was saying
no. I think I read that wrong. It says the
storefront.
Yeah, but it says they're essentially micro fulfillment centers that carry around.
Okay, so like a little warehouse.
Yeah. I don't know why.
With that stuff stocked.
Oh, sorry. Let me rephrase that. The move into virtual storefront comes a few months after DoorDash partnered with convenience stores. So the virtual one was like CVS, and this is, sorry, I should have read the whole paragraph. So,
did you read the article?
I breezed through it. So
I read my article this week.
Push the button. Pete.
Don't push any buttons. The only button you can push is, so.
What if we loosen up our buttons?
Oh my god!
I'm wearing
nothing
nothing with buttons, so you're just gonna pull my pants down. All right, so the first video of the night is Jesper's, and you want to describe it?
Sure. So it's a video with a driver and a rider, of course, and the rider. Yeah, it is a video.
He's like, it's a video.
Well, and then it was.
20-second pause.
It wasn't 20 seconds. But so what you see that I guess the right term is the rider attacks the driver.
Jesper and I were talking about it before the show, and he thinks the driver's a dick, but we'll play it.
He is a dick.
All right, let's.
That hat is not doing him any favors.
No.
No. Indiana Jones.
And is he even wearing a shirt, or is it unbuttoned down to his crotch?
Put your mask on, man. You're supposed to be over there. Excuse me? You're supposed to be over there. You need to be out of my car. I'm not kidding. I'm going to cancel this ride.
Why?
Because I don't like the way you started it.
Well, why? But saying that you're supposed to be over there?
Yeah. I mean, it's either side, man. Pick up out. This side has less cars on it.
I don't understand.
Please leave.
Shirt's unbuttoned way too low.
I will. As soon as you get out.
Well, I don't want to leave till you do because then I won't pay for it.
There you go, Danny.
Go ahead, get it finished.
Okay, there you go. I don't want this ride. Get out.
Yeah. You're a fucker.
Yes, sir, I am. Wow, that's a shitty thing to do.
Yeah, I know.
I'm so glad that that's all on camera.
So
I feel like he's kind of embracing your inner spirit.
Me?
Yes, I am.
I just think it could so easily have been avoided. That was it. He went from 0 to crazy in like no time, and it's just.
I think he knew he was in the wrong spot too. I kind of got that feeling like.
I don't think. Do you think he was in the wrong spot? I mean,
if you're across the street,
yeah,
is where better parking is.
If I'm going north on Ionia and I'm picking up Hopcat.
Yeah,
I'm going to park on the cross the street. I'm not going to do a U-turn.
Yeah.
I mean, so I
guess it really depends on where he was at and all that. But
yeah, no, I mean, I've had a passenger who I was dropping them off across from Wealthy Street Theater. That's where they were going.
Yeah.
And I dropped her off on the other side of the road because that was the direction we were going. And she got pissed that I didn't go around the block to come back and drop her off 2 feet from the door.
right.
And I was like, see ya. Just get out. You can cross the street.
And it all depends on the road. If I go pick up at Rumors, I do a U-turn on Division because it's like 5 lanes of traffic.
Yeah.
And I would do that too. Yeah. Pick him up in front of Rumors.
Sure. Well, the real comment or the real talk about is how deep of a shirt he had on. It was unbuttoned down to his belly button. He's wearing this weird hat. But Daniel did say he went from high to go screw you really quick. I think he was having a rough day, and that guy just set him off.
Good thing he didn't touch the radio. He probably would have gotten
slapped. Don't get me wrong. The guy got in the car with attitude.
Right.
You already know you're getting a bad rating.
But was it attitude, though? I didn't think it was.
I did.
I didn't.
I mean,
the passenger?
You were supposed to be over there.
I don't think you...
Just say hi. Just
right.
Get over it. Just be done with it.
Well, let's face it. It was the mask stuff that started it. Because he didn't quite have his mask up. And the guy's probably like...
But he put a mask on. And,
he did.
Put something on at least.
I mean, not that you should have to be told to.
No, I mean, that's the rules. But
Correct.
I don't know.
I don't know.
We're never going to...
I think it could have easily been avoided.
Yeah.
Now, what we should say at the end... Danny was an idiot too, right? Because he ended by throwing whatever it was, hand sanitizer at him.
Yeah.
And he shouldn't have
done
squirted
at him too? Is that what?
Yeah, that's what it was. But it's like...
If it was hand
scoot.
Oh, Pete.
It's wrong on so many levels.
So Larry said he had the woman ask him 3 times if he was going to rape her.
Oh, I remember that. That was so weird.
Oh.
I remember him talking about that. That's so...
And Larry is such a good family dad. He would never rape anybody.
Heyo.
I think
But she didn't know that, I guess.
that was a weird thing to say, Jesper. Thanks, Jeff. All right, Pete, you're up.
All right, so this is a picture
Of what would you do?
of what would you do. And for those of you who are listening to the podcast, it's a guy with a backpack on, and he's got a very large... Now, Jason, please tell me what kind of gun this is, because I have no idea.
It just looks like an AR-15.
Looks like an assault rifle 15.
It's not an assault rifle. Fuck's sakes.
I didn't say that.
I
I did
know.
not set him up to it.
Jason dropped the first F-bomb tonight.
That's
Yes.
why I made Jason talk about it, because I knew he was going to say AR-15.
Jesper said bullshit earlier, but I did drop the first F-bomb. Sorry.
But yeah, basically, it's like a giant Call of Duty gun.
Yes, there you
And it
go.
says,
That's what it
what would y'all do in this situation? I wouldn't let him in my car with that big-ass gun. Hell no.
But don't you think it's an airsoft gun?
No.
No.
Why you can tell.
Yeah, no kidding. That's why it's dangerous as hell.
Right.
By the way,
My
Sam,
point-
you cut the picture so low, I don't even know what he's carrying on my
Well,
dock.
good thing it's up there.
So what my thought was when I first saw this is why are, and I think I mentioned this before when we had that gigantic revolver that got left in the back seat,
Yeah.
but why are passengers allowed to have weapons in your vehicle and you're not allowed to have a weapon?
I mean, is it even?
I mean,
legal
it's just
to
like-
carry that through town, like,
Well, no, technically, okay, so
and loaded in a car.
no. So if you are in Michigan and you have that firearm and you have it around your neck and you're not brandishing it, you can walk around right down the street and it's legal. It's called
Right.
open carry. Pistol, AR-15, whatever. But you cannot take that gun in the car. It has to be unloaded and it has to be locked up. That's illegal.
Yeah, it's got to be in the trunk.
Is
Yeah.
that because you're now in a personal vehicle that's not your own?
No,
Is that why?
even in your own vehicle, you can't carry. You can't unless you have a CPL, which is that would have to be concealed while you were in the car. Well, you're not putting that in your pants. That's way too big.
Right.
So technically, laying it on the seat is illegal.
Yes.
So CPL will allow me to take it into the vehicle, but if I only do open carry, I cannot take that in the vehicle.
You can put it in the trunk unloaded.
No. Let's try that again. If you're outside your car,
Right.
you can open carry. If you're inside your car, if you can't conceal that weapon on your body, it's still you can't just lay it in your car.
But
it has to be locked up.
I need a CPL to conceal it, right?
Right.
Well, you
On
can-
my body.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if I don't have a CPL, it doesn't matter if I conceal it because it's still illegal.
Right.
You can't. Yeah. You can't.
My point is, you
Yeah.
can't put an AR-15 in your pants. You can't conceal that.
Correct.
Unless you're wearing a trench coat.
Right. Right.
Weirdo.
While sitting down, Pete, that's good job.
Good luck.
Maybe if you're on a Segway.
If you see Pete with a trench coat, run. Run.
On a Segway.
On a Segway. So let's go back to the original question: Why
Yes.
can passengers carry?
Right.
And
I mean, can they? Has anybody ever read the passenger terms of service to find out if they can, in fact, take a weapon with them?
that's
I mean, in the last 2 months, this is the third.
Yeah.
Assuming this actually happened with this
Yeah.
this AR with this not assault
I'm not
rifle.
saying that it doesn't happen.
it is an AR, but it doesn't stand for
actually-
assault rifle.
Right.
It actually very well may be against the passenger terms of service. We all just know those are a joke and they're not enforced.
Well, the Lyft one said something about legally
Yeah, the last podcast,
right.
a legally licensed firearm
Right.
got left in your car, but Larry says they can't carry. I don't know.
I mean, it should. I mean, if the drivers can't carry, then passengers shouldn't be able to carry.
Well,
either.
my point is like if you go into, I almost said Circuit City. I was listening to a podcast
Wow.
that Circuit City got brought up.
That just aged you, buddy.
flashbacks.
If you go into Best Buy, the employees can't carry, but someone that has a CPL can walk in there and carry just fine. So it's kind of the same thing. Like you're working, you're not allowed to carry.
It also comes down to, does your work rules override your
constitutional
right?
Well, you're working as a private business. It's not state owned. So you really don't have any constitutional rights. Like you have the right to tell your boss to F off and you're not going to get arrested for it, but you're going to get fired.
Right.
So there's still consequences with your constitutional constitutional.
Daniel's old too. He remembers Circuit City. So
Thank you.
I mean, I remember it, but
Right.
Yeah, I remember.
they still have the building.
Do you guys remember?
well, Best Buy's in it now, right? Isn't
No,
it?
the
Yes.
one down by Chili's. Wasn't that a
Alpine.
Circuit City?
There's another dumpy restaurant.
Alpine was Circuit City.
Yeah, but there was one on 28th Street too. And I think now it's a Jake's Fireworks.
Wasn't that Computer City first a long time ago?
Comp USA.
No, it was. There was another company before that.
There was Circuit City, Comp USA, Best
That's an
Buy.
Apple store.
I don't know. I don't do Apple. Anyways.
Oh, we're not getting on that.
How do you know Best Buy employees can't carry? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Larry, you're from Louisville.
Louisville.
I went to
Everyone Kentucky carries.
I went to a guy's house in Louisville once, and he was very well to do. He was so well to do. His bathroom had heated floors, but this dude had guns and like
every
like.
You know,
I got a
heated
gun up
bathroom
here.
floors only cost $500.
They're not
right?
that expensive. They're radiant floors. They just put it under the tile.
Yeah.
Why don't I have a heated bathroom floor?
Because you don't want to retile your own bathroom.
I'm moving out anyway, so.
All right, we got to keep going. We're already 6 minutes in, and we're on Article 4.
48 6 minutes?
Shut up.
48.6.
All right. I think this is Sam.
But I guess to get back real quick, I would not let that man in my car.
Oh, I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I'm pro Second Amendment.
Yeah, you don't need to be in my car, though. It's
Thank
your
you,
own car.
Keith. Did you see what his comment was?
At least you guys pronounce it correctly.
It's Louisville. It's not Louisville. It's Louisville. You got something stuck in your throat. Louisville.
Okay, so.
Do you know why I shared this? Do you know why? You know what this is about?
No.
See? Oh, you didn't prep it. You didn't.
I read my article.
So this is a text from Lyft, which I thought was interesting. They were.
I mean, I did scan through it, so.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, about the camera. Yeah. So it's a text from Lyft saying, "Hi, this is Taylor from Lyft. How can I help you with your application?" The person responds, "What else I need?" which is painful. And it says, "Just missing the registration." And then that was May 14th. Today, it was, "Hey, Clem, it's Taylor from Lyft. As a part of our efforts to prioritize safety, we'd like to ask you one quick question about your driving habits. Please respond yes or no. Do you currently use an internal-facing camera when driving passengers?"
So I thought it was interesting that they were asking about that.
Yeah, Why is it your business?
And maybe it's just a survey. They just want to get a pulse of the drivers out there. But
I wouldn't be surprised if at some point, if they get a lot of yeses, if they start offering those cameras.
Well, Uber in some markets.
Yeah.
Well, they did,
Like
but then they stopped that program.
Did they?
Yeah.
Huh.
So I would, but that way they'd have access to the cameras to see if complaints are valid or not.
The other side of it, I have never been. I've mentioned it a few times too, but that I had footage, and they never been. They don't even want it.
I'm wondering if they're looking at the cost of having someone to review them, if it would be less than or greater than refunding passengers for all of these complaints. What would cost more?
Uber's reviewed one of my videos.
You know that for a fact?
Sent it to them?
No.
They just changed their mind because you said you had a video and they called it good.
And your
Well,
diamond.
I sent it to them.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody watched it.
That does bring
Probably
up a good point.
It might be more cost effective to have someone watch them, but it might not.
The problem is like, let's say a passenger says you were drunk, right? Okay, so then they report it 3 hours later. The Uber's going to have to tell you which rider it was, so that already ruining the and that's such
anonymity.
A hard
it is
anonymity.
So hard. Anonymity.
She said it better than I did. I was a little slow. But so then, because otherwise the footage won't really matter, because if you can't pinpoint who it was,
right,
unless you send them the whole day. But I do like the fact if you could say, hey, here's all my footage for the entire night that someone reported me drunk. Every passenger.
Now, I had somebody who was it that did that? But they did a correct thing. So they got booted off the platform. Somebody had said that this person is drunk. That driver, I think it was something on market. She stopped the car, went right to the police station.
It was Detroit, but
had them take a breathalyzer test.
It's like $20,
and it had them sign that she was not drunk.
It's not a bad idea.
No.
Do you know where to go if you had to go to the GRPD? Where I know where it is.
No
is their
idea.
front door on Monroe Center? Is that open?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a lobby. You can come and report stuff.
I've never been in there, but
no, I haven't either.
I've dropped off people to go in there.
24 hours. I mean,
well, yeah, but I always see the back end where all the cop cars come out.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if there's a buzzer
I cannot
there.
wait for that road to reopen.
I have not been down there. When we were driving to the picnic.
It's even worse.
I took the long way down Monroe to get to
Just
it because
to drive through downtown.
I haven't been downtown in so long.
I know.
I was kind of shocked that hotel is still not done.
Yeah.
The one where she's talking about.
Yeah, I thought it would be
it's
done
not
by
even
now.
close.
What
Well,
hotel-
remember, they
what
probably
hotel
were
is that?
off for a month too for COVID. I mean, I was
Probably.
down for a month.
What hotel?
I don't know what it's called.
it's
It's
gonna
the
be a
one in that
Radisson.
little triangle that used to be a parking lot that is not big enough
Oh,
for
that
a
one.
hotel.
Yeah.
Right across from Back 40.
The pizza.
Yeah.
The pizza.
Yeah, they used to call it a pizza lot because it's shaped like a pizza.
I don't ever remember them having parking there.
I
Oh
know.
yeah, it was a
Oh
parking
yeah.
spot. Yeah,
But it was like
was the-
25 spots.
the radio station used to park there.
Yes.
Yeah, where's the parking going to be for the people in that hotel? Do they put a ramp in there?
Across the street where that parking ramp already is.
Oh, it's already busy there.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go back to the photo, but if you do notice, at least you guys, where's he at? He got 5G.
Oh, Detroit.
No, this is from Detroit?
Could be.
Well,
And Detroit has 5G.
well so do a lot of places.
Isn't that dangerous? Aren't they gonna get cancer and stuff?
Oh, gosh, jeez. You're off the podcast.
Oh,
Some of the people
that's
in
how they
my,
got the Rona.
my neighborhood group are like,
Sorry.
Oh, and like the Facebook
They're
neighborhood group.
serious.
it's so ridiculous.
I'm sure it's not great for you, but I mean, it's not causing the Rona. So this picture I bring up, I just thought it was interesting. One of the things that really bothered me about this, he made a lot of money that week. And I assume it's current, and I don't know what market it was in, but one thing that really bothered me is look how much tips he made.
That's sick.
$91
That's
out
gross.
of 191 rides. That is so gross. I mean,
This guy made
50 cents a ride.
$3,047,
Right
yeah.
and $91 of it was tips.
I mean,
now, the way I read it here, $1,000 is bonuses.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So but I feel like that's part of the tips is like a bonus. The other stuff is they offer bonuses all the time.
Right. So, but the thing is, though, so he got $100, like roughly $100 out of $2,000. Because that's all you can base it on.
Yeah, but
Out of
That's still
1,600.
terrible.
Yes, it's still terrible.
1,600, yes.
I'm just basing
Oh, it is terrible. Yeah, but it's not $3,000 terrible. Sorry.
But
Am I even
yeah.
here?
No.
It's 50 cents a ride, and that's shameful.
Well, especially
sure.
during COVID.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty normal. I know the food delivery people are getting paid tipped well, but I think even right now the drivers are still not getting the greatest tip. And I'd be like, oh man, I would tip my driver, be like, thank you so much. I was in a pinch or whatever. I don't know.
It amazes me. Even Instacart, the amount of people that don't put a tip on at all, or they put like $1 or $2.
It's been a lot. When I was going through the Grand Rapids group last couple of days, it says a lot of people that are getting like $2 tips, $3 tips on their Instacart.
So
We
it's
had-
kind of gone back to the old way.
We had a $10 tip pulled, and we got every item on their list, delivered it all, no problems. But they had a note in their thing that we have a lot of kids. Sorry for the big order. And I'm like, you just didn't want to pay for the tip.
Yeah.
That's it. It was $10. Like,
And they pulled this, so it was nothing.
yeah,
Leo said that's $42.63 an hour. Damn.
which is fantastic. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would
Although-
still be thrilled to make that.
But
in
it
a
was
week.
still 72 hours.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I was saying. Like Jesper averages 30 an hour working on the weekend. This guy's doing 72 hours. That's like 2 full-time jobs.
But if I knew that in 1 week, if I worked 80
Sure.
hours, I can make $3,000 and then not really
Well,
work
that's
the
the
rest of the
thing.
month, I'd totally
Well,
do it.
that was the conversation I had with Jason the other day about me when I was driving,
Right.
because I would work Friday, Saturday, maybe a Thursday night, maybe a Sunday afternoon,
Right.
and I would take the rest of the week off because.
But you'd work 17
But I work
hours.
all days.
on
Yeah,
those
work all
days.
day on Friday and Saturday.
I would too if I could make 3,000 in 1 week and then I could take the rest of the month off. I would so do that.
Yeah. Because, I mean, like, I shoot for like $4,000 a month. So I could work 1 week
Right.
and then maybe 2 weeks later make another $1,000 real quick. And call
But
it a day.
honestly, I don't think I could do that because I would get bored. I'd be like, all right, I'm going to go work. I'd have like 3 or 4 days off to recover, and then I'd be like, all right, Time to go back to work.
Even
That's
if
just
it's
me.
just like
Well,
4 hours a day.
Right.
Just to get out of the house.
Or since we are a gig economy podcast, maybe you do rideshare for 72 hours, make that, and then you work on your other other baskets. You know,
Yeah.
you get some of your other gig work going. So kind of expanding what you're doing.
And just become more of an expert in those other gigs so
Right.
that when rideshare does take a shit or your car
Exactly.
breaks down or
Yep.
whatever.
You have more to spread it out on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leo brought up a good point. Said I want to know how many miles that was.
Oh, 20,000.
Yeah,
No, I don't know.
it was probably a shit
I
ton.
mean,
It was probably a lot.
And that was on Lyft. I didn't notice that was on Lyft too.
I would guess 4,000 or 5,000.
My
For
mileage.
1
Unless
week?
it's-
No. I would average 5K a month, and I was driving full time like 35 to 40 hours a week.
My mileage is gonna seriously be down this year. I have to
yeah.
pay taxes.
Yeah,
It's
you
horrible.
better prepare for that.
Yeah.
Oh, I have.
I mean, I paid taxes through my whole internship, but and through my unemployment. But even then, I'm like, I still might.
But
owe a
so
little
far, I
bit.
only drove 3 months, and there wasn't really that much.
Yeah.
So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, don't say sorry. You just keep doing it.
Uh-huh.
If you were sorry, you would stop.
It was
Well,
not, so
I'm
you
only
won't.
sorry when I interrupt her, not you.
Wow.
Rude. All
I
right,
know.
you're up.
Me?
Where's
So-
my cricket sound effect?
So this is one of the drivers in our market. He posted, Emmy at Millennium Park, two kids, no car seats, no masks, and willing to call white people racist for denying the ride. Now I know for a fact we have somebody at this table who used to get a lot of those requests. Pete.
I think he was being called racist a few times too.
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I when I saw this, I was like, oh, this really hits close to home.
Are you sure the first name doesn't start with an I?
Chris hasn't been in the chat in a while.
No, he hasn't.
No,
He hasn't.
And I? What are you talking?
Ivory?
Oh yeah. No.
Try to keep up.
I don't think Ivory has any kids.
Ivor's got like 3 or 4 kids.
Yeah.
But does he have car seats?
Knowing him, probably not.
I think they're older. But anyways, yeah, it's just
So-
one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, and again, we don't have to talk a lot about it, but I think we've all had that, that thing. I remember talking to somebody when we were discussing this thing. I think that actually was Cass. She was mentioning she had another. She had a,
Castle?
Cash.
No, it's
Cash.
Cass.
Yeah, I know. Cass. She had a.
Say it.
She had Cass.
No, say it.
No, Cass.
Castle.
Say it.
He doesn't like Castle.
You don't like casseroles?
Cass hole.
There
Fine,
it is.
done. There you go. Cass.
She's going to listen to the podcast and be like, what the hell?
Anyways, she had turned down a rider for not having the car seat, and she was always like, really, seriously, idiot. So, but we've always had one of those. The one that kind of stands out to me the most is I had one. I pulled up to them. The kid was clearly too young,
Yeah.
right? And I asked his dad, how old is he, and does he have a car seat? And the dad just kept saying, he's fine. We don't need a car seat, right? And I go, hey, son, how old are you? And I
Oh.
know I was an idiot, right? But I did. And he said, I was 5. And he said, I'm 5. And I said, sir, he's not coming in. And the dad got so mad at the son.
I'm sure.
But
Snitches get stitches.
you don't talk to your son like that. I was just, if that's what you're teaching your kid, it's just abuse. Anyways, it was
sucks.
just horrible.
It sucks when you get involved in those situations because you're like, what is going on at home?
I
So-
know, right?
So Daniel is asking if kids actually have to have car seats.
It depends on the market as far as
Yeah.
like the exact rules,
But it depends on your state. If you have to have them in your car, then
Right.
you have to have them in anyone else's car.
Well,
it doesn't matter if it's a service.
But the thing is, why is it the
Taxi
taxis
cabs.
don't have to have car seats?
because they have a CDL, and for some reason that makes them exempt from getting in car accidents.
They do not have
I don't know.
CDLs.
They should.
Well, they have special registrations that allow them to go without it, but ours is personal vehicles.
Yeah.
And we need to have a car seat, and you got to follow the ticket rule. What's it called? The click of the ticket rules and all that stuff, according to Michigan. And yes, even more so, what's gonna happen, Daniel, if you're in an accident and that kid dies? I don't even care whether or not it's against the rules. How are you going to be able to live with yourself?
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Plus,
on top of the financial impact that's going to
I know.
cause
the
you.
lawsuit coming your way is going to be real.
Uber's not going to.
Yes.
Presumably, Uber's not going to cover you because you didn't verify. You didn't do your due diligence to make sure that were in seatbelts or car seats or whatever.
Leo said
chauffeur's license.
Yeah, I have that. It's a 20-question test. It doesn't allow me to take children in my car. Like I don't. It
is kind of weird though how taxi cabs and school buses.
Did you just burp?
A little bit.
School buses don't need seatbelts. It's insane.
Yeah, the school belt or the
school belts.
The school.
Going downhill fast.
I'm on a lot of allergy meds. I'm telling you.
But that's the other thing. I don't understand it. Right? That's why. Why does it make it right? Why are they allowed not to have?
I don't know. It's some stupid rule. I mean, why wouldn't
Honestly,
you anyways?
It probably came down to they didn't want to spend the money to put seatbelts in school buses, so they just made them exempt from it.
Now, Daniel, they have added, and I believe both Uber and Lyft have it. They have a way for you to deny the ride for missing car seat. So it won't.
But the problem with that is
it won't affect your rating. You'll still get the cancellation fee.
Still get the cancellation fee. Still get your rating. However, if you're working on your streak bonus,
it does end your streak bonus.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
So if it's like take 3 rides for $15 and that's ride number 3.
And the sad thing is that there are
BS.
people. Yes, it is.
There are people who would rather get that.
Yeah,
$3 streak bonus. Then
even if it wasn't a law, I still wouldn't take a kid without a car seat.
No.
Like even if it was, I wouldn't break any rules. Just like Jesper said, you end up getting accident.
I gotta tell you, I have honestly done it once in my all.
We've all done it a few times.
I've done it once. It was 2 a.m. in the morning. I was picking up. It was a
your
mom.
hooker.
No, it was a mom. She was just out from her job. She had shut down McDonald's. She went to her wherever it was to pick up her children from the daycare. The children and she needed a ride home, and she had no way of getting. And she had already waited 25 minutes for a car.
Yeah,
what am I supposed to do? I know, and I kind of whatever. And I took him home.
Hopefully, you lectured her to start bringing a car seat.
Of course, I did.
It was available when it was time to leave.
Yes, I did. I said, "Ma'am, next time take your car seat with you and all that stuff." And I actually had a booster seat, so she had 2 children, so I let one of them use my booster seat. But what am I supposed to do? But I have said no every time since then. I've said no. Yeah, no, I know.
Dustin is driving. Says hi. What's going on, everybody?
What's going on, Dustin?
Hey, Dustin.
Yeah, I mean the problem is like. So the rates that Uber and Lyft have provided does feature it. You do get some less privileged people that ride it, and I think that's part of the problem. I mean, not saying I just find that it's mostly people that are from lower income that just don't have the car seats. And
if you don't have a car, a lot of people aren't going to think to buy a car seat.
I know,
because you're not using it with regularity. Once in a while you need a ride, or let's say like a friend of the family is going to take your kids somewhere. They're probably not going to put their foot down and make you put them in car seats. It's just not. But
but they can
do.
They can get one of those.
You can get them free.
Yeah.
Right. Well, not only you can get them free, but you can get those. I can't remember what brand it is. The straps or whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
There are options.
Like
I think it's
just
a lot of people, they just don't think to do it even.
Right.
But then again, at this point, Lyft and Uber have been in this market long enough.
Mm-hmm.
You should know the rules.
My favorite
and
one.
Yes, you can get them for free. So do it.
Well, I think the problem is also there's still enough drivers who don't care.
Yeah. Until everyone stops doing it.
Yeah.
It's still going to be a problem. Dustin says Uber will shut down in Cali on Friday. I thought it's tomorrow.
It is.
I thought it was tomorrow. Better get your video ready, Dustin.
It was Thursday.
My favorite one was I picked up a lady and she just looked me straight in the eyes. Oh, I didn't know I needed a car seat for my baby.
Yeah. Okay.
You're straight lying to me, lady.
Here's your sign.
Yeah.
Maybe that should be included in the little take-home kit, like when you have a baby and you get to take them home. It should be like a little kit of
don't
you
forget
must have a car seat.
Need a car seat for Uber or Lyft.
They won't let you leave if you don't have an approved car seat.
That's right.
Yeah, but it doesn't say anything about Uber and Lyft.
No, but the hospital, you can't leave the hospital with your baby if you don't have an approved car seat.
Right, but a newborn car seat and a 1-year-old
I
car seat
understand, but it's still the same.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes.
Yesler's getting worked up over there.
A little bit.
He's getting
All right,
madder than me about it.
Let's move on.
All right, this next one.
Is definitely
Next one's going to be a big one. So I've got a lot of notes. I'm just going to cover some of the big things.
Sorry, I skipped Pete. Sorry,
we go.
I muted my mic. I'm very sniffly. Sorry, Pete.
Oh, that's all right.
You don't have like.
That's why I was confused. I was like, the next one's mine. Why is Pete talking?
Sorry, I was confused too. That's why I scrolled
Wait.
up.
Oh, did I?
No,
you're good.
You're 100%
Okay.
right.
I was like,
I
wait.
just like these pictures are so big, and I wish someone would resize them. But I just missed Pete's article, so
That's weird how we went from like 38 pages to
17.
and it's still
17.
too big.
It's still too big.
Never too big.
All right, so Dara.
Dara.
Yes,
You always
I
call him Dana.
I always call him Dana. Dara, the CEO of Uber, put out this very long op-ed in one of the newspapers, and I'm going to cover some of the big things that I took away from it. But it's a pretty long read, so I would
Pete,
suggest.
What's op-ed mean?
Opinion. Oh, damn, I keep muting my mic because I'm sniffy.
What's the other half?
Editorial.
Yeah.
Opinion editorial.
I was just curious if you knew.
I wasn't even sure. I was like 75% positive. All right, so he said, why not just treat drivers as employees? Uber would only have full-time jobs for a small fraction of our current drivers. We would only be able to operate in fewer cities than today. Uber would not be widely available to drivers, and drivers would lose flexibility they have today. He also said in public surveys over the last decade, the vast majority of drivers have said they don't want to be employees. 2 out of 3 app drivers would stop driving if their flexibility was compromised.
Mm-hmm.
When the worst happens, too often you're on your own. There has historically been little to no paid support for independent workers if they couldn't work, if they wanted a vacation, or more important, if they get sick. The current system is binary, meaning that each time a company provides additional benefits to independent workers, the less independent they come. Proposing that gig economy companies be required to establish benefits which give workers cash they can use for benefits they want, like health insurance or paid time off. All gig companies will be required to participate so that workers can build up benefits even if they switch between apps. Had this law been in all 50 states, Uber would have already contributed $655 million to benefits funds last year alone. We estimate that a driver in Colorado averaging over 35 hours per week would have accrued approximately $1,350 in benefit funds in 2019.
So 2 months.
So that's enough to cover 2 weeks of paid time off or the median annual premium payment for subsidized health insurance available through an existing Uber partnership. He said states should require all gig economies to provide medical and disability coverage for injuries incurred on the job, creating a baseline safety net that we cannot give to drivers today without risking their independent status under the law.
So he's saying that the state should provide all that?
The state should make
require
laws that require
Oh.
Uber and Lyft to
Right.
set the money aside.
Are you going to read the whole thing?
No,
Okay.
these are just the big points.
Okay,
It's a long thing.
I was going to say, I was like,
Yeah. He said we need new laws that prevent companies from denying independent workers opportunities based on their race, religion, gender, sexual orientation, or any other protected characteristic. Shockingly, that fundamental measure of equality is not fully enshrined into law for all American workers today. Which I put that in there because I was a little confused because I thought that was already.
No.
Yeah.
No?
Not entirely.
Say that again. Well,
As of like specifically right now, like trans workers are not protected under that same law. That
I
like you
thought that just got passed.
but didn't the president just undo it?
Oh, God, I hope not.
I think so. I think he rolled back a lot of the protections that were required.
I believe he did.
So
Hmm.
that's just one example of, I'm sure, a handful. And then again, just because it is the law, it's still not being like
Right.
enforced well.
Right.
Why not?
He said Uber will start, and I hope others will follow. To begin with, we have to be more transparent about what drivers make and the realities of the work. That's why we've launched a new earnings estimator using historical data to give drivers a clearer view of what they can expect to earn in their area, even before they sign up. We also need to do a better job acting on driver concerns. That starts with holding ourselves accountable. We commit to surveying every single driver in the country about what's working and what's not, and to publicly release the results no matter what they say. And then he said, we commit to helping every driver register to vote so that independent workers have a stronger voice in our democracy.
Help me how to vote.
What's that?
Help me get to vote.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Very, very long read.
Yeah. If you want to read it, you can find it. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
It's kind of interesting that he's saying all this stuff, and then tomorrow Uber's going to pull out of California.
allegedly.
Again, while he may personally value these things, he doesn't solely have the authority to make his company behave in that way because he has stockholders to
He's
answer
only
to.
saying that to try to.
It's positive PR.
Yeah.
And again, he might think those are good things, but he can't single-handedly make his company do them.
Right.
And
let's not forget that people don't want this.
yeah,
A lot of people don't.
A few riders say they want it.
drivers.
Drivers.
Driders.
Drivers.
I mean,
Jesper's. Someone gets that guy some caffeine. Give him a cupcake.
It's another one of those situations that people think they want this, and then they like, holy shit, what just happened?
people don't realize that the negative repercussions are going to be to getting the things they want. I think one thing Seattle's doing that is decent is they are requiring that Uber and Lyft set up like a community-based board where when drivers are terminated for wrongful cause, they actually have the ability to talk to a human being in person and get it rectified.
Right.
Like they can actually appeal the decision, whereas right now, once you're off, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right.
Every once in a while, a driver gets back on, but it's very far and few between.
Yeah.
The other thing, I just thought about, this thing passes in California. You drive for Uber. You're not going to be driving for Lyft, too.
That's a good point.
Oh, yeah.
So you're going to be employees for both companies? Like,
They're not going to allow that.
No, they're going to make you sign a non-compete agreement.
Yeah, that's true. I bet you they do.
Oh, absolutely.
That'll be interesting.
And same thing with if they become the franchise owners or whatever.
Yeah,
you're not
still
going
to be a non-compete.
But wait, the drivers don't want that.
No,
They
again,
only,
I think
they only want the good part. They don't want the bad part.
Well, I think what I brought up earlier about lobbyists and politicians, when we see all this outrage on Twitter, that's like less than 1% of the people in the world.
yeah.
But people look at that and think it's the end all be all, so the cancel culture and everything. And I think the same is happening with this. Like they think every California driver and that wants this, and it's not true. And these,
Right.
I feel bad for some of the drivers. Like when you look on Reddit, they're like throwing California drivers like right in the trash, and they're like, "Hey, I didn't want this. I mean, I just happen to live
there
here."
are people who are genuinely panicked that they're not going to be able to feed their family next week because tomorrow they might be cut off from their job.
Especially, and man, I tell you, we say this it's like a broken record, but don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Nope.
Yeah.
Diversify.
And that's the thing, like especially right now, it's not like they can just go get another job. Like a lot of cities are down a lot of jobs.
And California is like a COVID hotspot again.
Yeah.
So they're
businesses are closed everywhere in California. Like, yeah, it's gonna be tough.
It ain't getting any better.
Well, interesting enough, that would be such bad PR if they actually do pull out. I mean, it's not only it's going to hurt them financially, but man, everyone's going to hate their guts. I mean, they probably already do, but all right, we got to move on. Like, we're going to have to cut some articles, I think. So, Sam.
Yes. So this is a picture. It's a sign somebody put up in their car saying, "I sanitize this vehicle often with undiluted 70% isopropyl alcohol several times a day. I have a medical condition exemption, keeping me from wearing a mask, and Uber and Lyft have been notified. Thank you and enjoy your day." And the caption at the top of this is, "But us riders can't ride unless we have a mask," which just sounds whiny.
Yeah, this is in a Lyft.
Who?
See, I disagree. I think if you have a medical condition, you shouldn't drive.
No, you probably shouldn't.
I just think...
And quite frankly, the ADA currently isn't recognizing any medical condition is keeping you from wearing a mask.
Correct.
Nope,
so
you can write whatever you want.
But what that person's also saying is we have to take a photo with a mask on to be able to turn on the platform.
People were saying all they have to do is cover their face.
Yeah,
I know, but they're still doing their part, right?
Right.
My goal. Well, I wish when you did verify, it saved it to your camera roll because I want to try some fun stuff. But when it takes it, it doesn't save it. Well, Uber's got it, but
right.
Like pull my shirt up and those kind of things.
Also, can we talk about how bad that is for her car.
Yeah.
70%.
Yeah. Yeah. She won't have seats for long.
Alcohol.
Yeah.
She won't have seats for long. But I just, like, I get the perspective of you need to survive. Health condition or no health condition, you got to make money. I get it. But if you are that high risk, it's not the right job for you.
No, it's not.
I think it kind of boils down to the people who are like, I don't want to talk to people. Well, you probably shouldn't be driving people around then because you're in the wrong job.
Or people who are like terrified of dogs and don't want to let service animals in their car because they're terrified of dogs. Well, this is probably the wrong job for you.
Yeah. I mean, I hate to be insensitive about if she does have a medical condition, but I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know. But.
All right.
Daniel said, I already blocked him. Okay. Apparently I can block it from here. I don't know what the link was, but
it was.
Did you click on it?
I thought about it hiding.
It's nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Did you hide it?
I just blocked him. I don't know.
Yeah, but you hide the comment. There you go. I took it gone. I did it.
Okay.
We're like hair salons. We're cheap therapists for riders.
Right. But that was always one of the things that I enjoyed about rideshare is being that therapist and just shooting the shit with people and talking.
That's why you say you don't want to go back, but I think once things open up and I'll be honest, I don't know when they will.
I still miss it. That's
what I'm saying. I think you'll want to go back.
Yeah,
so.
I will definitely go back, assuming I'm not already gainfully employed at this point, which I may be if things keep going the way they are.
Yeah.
But hopefully I'll have a real job in May. But,
speaking of real jobs, we would love your money. If you go to patreon.com/the KikiCon podcast.
That was a very
you like that?
Good job.
I always, when we're going into this one, I always listen to the chatter to try. Hey, I'm getting good at this.
I know.
You go to patreon.com/KikiCon podcast. We have 2 different tiers. $5 tier just for buying us a cup of coffee every month just to help us out for the content we provide. And the $10 tier, you get a free piece of merch, an extra podcast a month, and behind or before the show chatter, which can
and I know you're not listening right now, but we will get your head out before the next episode. New Zealand.
We will. Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we will.
I got one left, so I see it sitting on the desk right now. So we appreciate all of our Patreon supporters that we have right now, and we'd love more. So patreon.com/KikiCon podcast. All right. Sam, you are up.
Yes. So this is a text message between a ship shopper and a customer. And it's the customer responds back to the basic intro text. Hey, 2 things. I work nights and just got home, and I'm going to sleep. Substitute for whatever you think is best. Also, these groceries are from my friend. She's going through financial hardship and expressed she has no food. She has no idea these groceries are coming. If you would please help keep me anonymous, I don't want her to feel obligated to pay me back. If she asks, say they're from Butterworth Emergency Family. Thank you. That's really nice.
And this was local to Grand Rapids, and
gosh,
I love seeing this stuff. We always, I think I feel like we highlight a lot of the negative shitty stuff.
Yeah.
It just makes more of the news, unfortunately. But I'm not sure who grabbed this picture, but that's cool. Pete.
Yeah. That's a cool
really
thing.
Nice to, and that really brightens people's days up. Like I've done that for birthdays and stuff. People will order food from Fresh Time or whatever, get some wine and some dessert, and be like, oh, I'm sending this to my brother-in-law's house or my parents' house for their anniversary. Like I delivered lobsters and cheesecake for a 50-year anniversary, which is really nice.
Now let me ask a question. So
he just got real serious. Did you feel like you're going to get scolded all of a sudden?
How do you handle the alcohol problem if alcohol is a gift?
They just have to have an ID.
They have to just be 21.
Yeah. So okay. So
anyone's
the
ID
gift
works.
meaning
right.
The customer still bought the alcohol.
Right, but you can only give it if the person you're giving it to is over ID.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, no. I have to check ID at the residence that I deliver it to.
Correct.
Anyone's ID works as long as it's unexpired, which is a big issue right now, and 21 or older.
Right.
But that's And I've twice now I've had to return alcohol because their driver's license have expired because Secretary of State is closed.
Right.
And fun fact, in Michigan, it is illegal to return alcohol.
Yeah.
Yep.
The grocery stores will not take it back.
Now you enjoyed that, I understand.
I do. But it's a hassle. Like I have to talk to customer support for a very long time to get them to be like, oh, okay, we're going to give you the $15 for returning it because we used your time and you get to keep it and then we'll contact you later.
And they gave the money the buyer the money back too.
They get a refund, but I'm not sure if they're charged a fee for not having valid ID.
While Sam was texting support, she had half the bottle gone.
Not yet.
I believe it was a very good wine.
Yeah, wasn't it organic?
It was. I went and actually bought myself another bottle a couple weeks ago. It was really good. So.
All right, Pete, you're up next.
All right, so this next video is this one. This is one of the ones that makes me like not want to go back to driving during all this because I want to.
Again, this is probably 1% of all the rides, but again, you know.
I'd like to think people in Grand Rapids are too polite for this, but they're not. They're really not.
Ouch! Shitting on our hometown.
It's just I would like to think it, but I've also met some of the residents here. So.
Right. So this video is a passenger who claimed to have COVID-19, removed her mask, and then coughed during the ride.
All right.
A lot.
An Uber driver's out of work the next few days after a passenger took off her mask inside the car, started coughing, and then claimed she had COVID-19. How this all unfolded. For more than a year, this Uber driver has picked up and dropped off hundreds of passengers. But on Tuesday morning, a drive from Denver to Aurora escalated after a passenger took off her mask inside the car.
I noticed that she was consistently coughing.
The Uber driver did not want to be identified and says he felt uneasy.
You know, in this day and age, you should probably have a mask, especially since it's the law and you're sick.
She says she's not sick, but things escalate.
Do you have COVID?
Yep, sure do. The passenger responds with, yep, sure do.
You said you did. Is that the truth? Please, that's my life.
And if you don't give me where I'm going.
Really? Get out.
And at the end of the ride, when she got out, she said, you've got COVID.
The nearly 8-mile ride cost just $8.28.
Did we talk
but
about
much
this?
more was at risk.
I was angry that someone would be so callous and cavalier with my life.
The driver filed a complaint, and Uber emailed him that they would take appropriate action. We reached out to Uber. Company policy mandates masks during rides. They also say drivers can cancel trips if they don't feel comfortable. In a statement from Uber, it says passengers who repeatedly violate the mask policy risk losing their access to Uber.
Her lack of caring for another person
repeatedly
is costing me my livelihood as well as potentially getting sick or possibly worse.
Get out of my car.
His advice to drivers, stay vigilant. And for passengers,
make sure you're wearing your mask before you get in the car. Make sure you use hand sanitizer.
Addie Guajardo, Denver 7.
That should be
a one and done policy.
One and done.
Right.
That should not be repeatedly. That should be one and done.
Yeah.
And not even a repeatedly may lose. It's a once and you will lose.
Well, we go back to the customer's always right.
Well,
no,
I mean, look at
not when they're directly breaking the law.
Look at when COVID first rolled out. When COVID first came out, and people were like, licking vegetables and stuff. Some of them were getting charges for terrorism.
Right.
Yeah.
And Uber's saying, if you repeatedly do this, we may ban you because we care about our $10. What it was, $9 or something for $8 for the ride or something.
Yeah, it was like $8.38.
We care about $8.38 more than we care about driver's life.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
F that.
Yeah.
But see, that's the thing I said too when we were talking. This was during the picnic, I guess. The mask, that brings up the worst in people.
Yeah, it's such
nobody wants to wear the mask. Nobody wants to wear the mask.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that.
I like wearing the mask. I think it makes me look handsome.
Yeah, you got sexy eyes. Yeah.
What is that?
Oh, you can do that on StreamYard. Thanks for interrupting.
Yeah, thanks.
I've never seen that before.
I don't think anybody really wants to wear the mask.
Nobody does.
I mean,
but I will do it.
Suck it up and do it anyway.
Exactly. Suck it up and do it. That's because it's the right thing to do.
It's
and
like
it's
95
respect.
degrees walking through a mire.
Yeah.
And you have your mask on, you're power walking, trying to get groceries done, and I'm still wearing the mask. It sucks. I'm sweating, but...
Right.
Glasses getting all fogged up.
Oh, God, it's so bad.
But you still do it,
Yeah.
right? Because it's the right thing to do.
yeah,
But
it
brings up people.
I know.
Brings up the
Everyone
worst
gets.
in
Worse than
people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's not get on a mask topic, though. It's gonna.
Well, that's
Yes.
what this was about.
I know.
No, but-
No, it was her coughing on.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Which, again, her doing that knowingly, like, he could have brought that video to the police and probably had her charged.
Right.
Yes.
And Uber said maybe we'll ban them if we repeatedly.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this one is, and actually Gabe brought this up at the picnic, so it was kind of funny that this was in our list to talk about. So this guy posted in a group, says, "You guys got to hear this. I got a request to go to Chipotle to pick up an order around 9:55. I get there and the restaurant is about to close, so I rushed in to pick up the order and it wasn't ready, so I waited. All of a sudden they locked the door and I was like, WTF, where's the order? He replies, I'm sorry, we're closed. Bro, there's like 40 bags of food waiting to be picked up by drivers from Uber, DoorDash, Grubhub, and Postmates. What are you going to do with all that food? You know what he told me? We throw it all out the next morning. I'm like, why do you do it the next morning? That's weird. But anyways, I'm like, wow, seriously? So I took a shot and asked if I could grab a couple of bags, and he said, absolutely, have it. He got food for a couple of days, scored big time.
I can tell you why the next morning. To prove to the morning manager they did not ignore the orders. They made the orders, and the drivers just didn't pick them up.
Yeah, and Gabe did
They're
talk
covering
about
their
that when it's closed, like they don't care if the orders sit there. I'm like,
but that can't be good.
No, that's not good.
No, it's not good for the business. I mean,
It's not good for the customer.
If food service workers were paid a better wage, they may actually care enough to say, hey, I'll stay here for 20 more minutes and just hand this food out before I go home. But they're like, no, it's 10 o'clock and it's time for me to roll out of here. But that's, yeah.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Sam, we're skipping yours. We're jumping into Jesper's.
Why? That's a really good one.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead then.
Okay, so Uber says its drivers make $55,000 a year.
It's not a video. I didn't.
No, I know.
Okay.
No, you're good.
All right, cool.
But of course, some critics say that's complete baloney. And so, okay.
Who's claiming the 55 a year?
Uber. And yes, before any expense, some drivers are certainly making $55,000 a year.
100%.
I mean, I was comfortably making $800 a week. That was like $45,000 a year. There are people who make way more than I do. Way more.
We had a certain Asian driver in our market who made
He made more than his full-time job.
That was his part-time job.
So, yeah, sure.
It's possible.
We certainly do before you factor in gas, expenses. I mean, just everything, like your insurance, your cell phone, when it comes down to doing your taxes, especially if you take a mileage deduction, that $55,000 a year could be 10.
Oh, yeah.
Easily.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, it's misleading. It's clear clickbait. They want people to read the article.
Yeah.
But
it's from CBS News, so.
Right. So, they found that in reality, most drivers actually make less than $20,000 a year once you factor in all the costs and everything else. But it's just.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah,
I thought Pete and I were like doing something, and then you stop. I'm like, wait, crickets.
No, it's yes, we do, but no, we don't. Is basically what that comes down.
Yeah, how does that work? I think you brought it up for tax purposes. Like if you lose money for 3 years, it's considered a hobby,
right?
But how does that work with rideshare driving? Because
Same thing. Any Schedule C that you file, if you go 3 out of 5 years and you don't make at least $1, then you're a hobby. And that means no more mileage deduction.
Yeah.
No repairs, no gas, no anything.
But you're going to make more than that on Uber.
I mean,
don't be stupid to claim that much.
Right. Just don't claim all your mileage.
Right.
But some people don't know that. They're not informed on tax laws. They don't realize. They're thinking, oh, I don't have to pay any taxes for 4 or 5 years. Cool. But
what was it? If I make less than 20?
No, don't steal the thunder. What the?
But no, it's just, I don't know. He just ruins a whole train of thought.
He does. He interrupts.
Just people get excited. They're like, oh, I'm not paying any taxes. I'm making all this money.
Whatever.
And then they come out that fourth year, they file their taxes just like they had the 3 previous years. And the IRS sends them back. Actually, you owe us $15,000.
Got another.
Because they just don't know.
I got it.
I hate it. It's good.
Oh, you guys are good.
So, yeah. I'm sorry I stole you something.
Always make sure you earn at least $1.
Right. Sorry, I didn't mean to bring it up. All right, this one is for Jesper. This video is kind of cool.
It's a good video.
It is a good one.
It's a good video.
I'm worried we're going to get demonetized for this one, but whatever. It's not like we're making a ton of them anyways.
No.
But
this is a video, and it's kind of cool. It's a neat way of tipping a delivery driver. I like that. So
Here he comes. He's coming. Okay, go. Okay, go. Open it.
It's a little lengthy. It's like
hey, man, before you go, real quick, I got some envelopes here on the wall with some questions. If you can answer these questions right, you get to keep what's inside the envelopes.
Okay.
If you want to play, there's some pretty good prizes in these. All right, so pick an envelope. Let's see what you got.
How many points is a touchdown worth in football?
Let's see. Wait, how many points is a touchdown worth in football, and how many is it worth?
It's,
I don't think so.
He's not wearing a mask.
It's 6. It's not 7. It's 6.
Okay, that's a trick question. Okay, don't open it yet. Okay. Next question.
Yeah, if I delivered packages, I wouldn't be wearing a mask either.
No.
But don't you have to?
You're supposed to, but I never really see people, so that could have happened yesterday.
Yeah,
so
when I do Amazon, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Keep going.
Okay. Name a song that starts with B.
Let's see. Hold on.
Okay.
Song that starts with B. Okay. Yeah.
Blackbird.
Okay.
Blackbird.
Yep, you're right.
And I know the Beatles too.
Okay.
The 4 of the Beatles.
Okay.
John, Paul, George, and Ringo.
John, Paul, George, and Ringo.
I wouldn't have known that.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Bonus round. Name the capital of Florida.
Tallahassee.
Wow, that was pretty good. Okay, take the top one off. Okay. Which country gave us the Statue of Liberty?
It's France. France.
Okay.
Yeah, the French.
Jeez, you're pretty good at this, man. Name a food that starts with R.
I'm drawing a blank. It's ramen.
Ramen? Yeah, close enough. All right, fine.
Okay.
And finally, name the 2 members of NSYNC.
JT, I don't know anyone else.
Name the 2 names. There's more than 2 members.
Name 2 members.
Justin Timberlake. Everyone knows Justin Timberlake.
That's 1. Let me see what's in here. You got the second one?
My girlfriend's going to kill me.
Well, you're not a big NSYNC fan or what?
No.
Okay, I'll tell you what. You didn't win this one, but let's see what you got in here. Let's see what you got.
Okay.
Open up one at a time. Let's see what you got. First envelope, you win.
$5. That's great. Thank you, man.
That's like a little tip for you, all right?
I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure. What else you got? Here, I'll take the empty ones if you want. All right.
Next is that's $20.
$25, man.
25. That's. I mean, that's more than I have ever gotten.
I figured this one would get blocked.
It's another 5.
What? $30 so far.
$30.
Okay.
What do you mean you got?
It's $1. Right on.
$31.
Yes, $31.
Was that with the capital of Florida? All right, that was $1.
And then,
$31.
That's $50. So that's 70. What's the next one, man? 70 something dollars.
71. No, $81.
$81.
It's $82.
Hey, man, I just want to. This is the difference between me paying my rent and not this week.
Really? Thanks,
yeah, man. I wasn't sure what I was going to do then.
Well, hey, look real quick, man. The 2 members of NSYNC.
Man, I saw what was in it. I don't know the second member of NSYNC. So.
Starts with a J. JF. Joey. It's Joey Fatone, man. No, Joey Fatone. It's $100, man. Sounds like you need it. That's it's more than us. So we want you to have that.
I think they did kick us off Facebook because our viewers went from like 23 to 7.
We appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Let me go back to the. Yeah, we got a notification that said I knew that guy would. I didn't think it would block it and kick us off Facebook, but anyways, oh well.
Oh man,
That's called copyrighted stuff. Like didn't I tell you that it was copyrighted when you use that stuff? Sometimes it fucks with you. But it was a good video. Mark's Spalding says it seemed fake. I kind of thought it was fake too, but then the guy got choked up at the end, so I don't know. It's really nice to see those nice videos or those things like that. So
I hate we got kicked off.
It'd be nice to think it was real.
I don't know if we're kicked off or not. Sam still has it live. So
no,
it's
it's
live now.
there, but why is there only 2 people? Anyways,
does it matter?
No, it doesn't.
I mean,
it just
you just roll the dice.
Yeah,
hey, remember, I bet 99% of people that listen to this podcast listen to audio. They don't
I know. It's good. It's all good.
So let's see. Let's go to this next one. This one's Pete. There we go.
All right. So this one's from one of the Uber Eats delivery drivers groups on Facebook. And she says, so today I order for myself, and after almost 1.5 hours, I open up the driver app, and what do you know? Bam, I get my own order. So I did take it because I've heard rumors about people not getting tips. I tipped over 20%. I tipped $5. And when I completed it, I went, oh God, I scrolled by accident.
I went back to see the earnings.
I scrolled up. Yeah, so I went back to see the earnings, no tip. It's been over an hour since I delivered, so now I call up Uber as the driver, and I'm like, the lady told me she would tip in the app, but I didn't see anything. So he says, okay, let me check. Do you know what this mofo told me? Sorry, they did not leave a tip. I go, are you sure? She seemed very adamant that she left it in the app. Sorry, I'm not showing any tip from the customer. I said, okay, thanks. Now what?
So it's your own.
Well, there's a couple of weird things that are going on. It's you got your own order, which that's against terms of service. So if you do get caught,
is it really?
Yeah,
yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, you can't.
I think people were doing it to get their bonuses.
Yes,
that's
the problem.
Sense. Yeah.
So there's 2 levels. It's like yeller. It's from you can't take your own, and then. Is Uber really taking the tips away? I mean, I can't believe that's...
Somebody said in the comments that they thought that Uber realized it was her taking her own order and didn't let the tip go through.
It's possible.
Right.
Could be. I don't know.
I think it's people just trying to get attention on Facebook.
Yeah.
Personally. So.
All right. Next up, this is interesting. This trip swap. I don't know which I don't know what group it was in, but this was on Uber, and you can actually turn on trip swap.
It'd be nice to turn that off
on Lyft.
No, is it? No, I think this is Uber.
Well, yeah, but Lyft is the one where it never fails.
Yes, you get halfway there and they give you somebody else.
Yeah.
You're right. It did start with Uber used to do it quite a bit, but then that kind of went away.
Yeah, it still happened periodically, but
never happened to me.
Really? Yeah. Well,
probably because your comfort.
Maybe. Don't know.
I don't know. I think I got a hair somewhere. I'm sorry.
But it's kind of cool. You can turn it off now.
Well, yeah. I wish this was on Lyft, but yeah.
Yeah, Lyft. They were bad, notorious bad for doing it.
Yeah.
Leo says he can see it on Facebook but can't comment. That's funny.
Ugh.
You're bummed about that, aren't you?
I really am bummed because we were doing really well.
Hey, we're already an hour 38 minutes in.
I know.
All right.
Let's wrap things up.
Tip time. Jesper spoiled it earlier.
Sorry.
So I found this on Reddit. It says making under 20K on Uber. So if you make under 20K on Uber, you don't file taxes, right? This is what I'm hearing. Hopefully someone can clear this up. Also, what if you make under 20K on a different app? Does that the same thing apply? So that was the poster. And then first comment, where did I say that? Oh no, wait, this wasn't in this. Anyways, I thought there was a funny comment on this one. What is the main difference? Anyways, there must have been another comment further down, but so the tip is, hey, yo, you have to file. You can't just make 20K and then the government's not going to take the money.
What?
But I mean, we kind of tease this guy, but maybe this person clearly doesn't know. But if you are a new driver, you have to file taxes.
Well, look, it's like in the pizza business 20 years ago when I first started. not a single driver for the most part, but like 90% of the drivers, none of them claim their tips.
No.
20 years later, they have all realized that you got to claim your tips if you want to buy a car, buy a house,
right?
Do anything like that.
Even then, though, like employers and even parents don't tell their teenagers that you need to show this income for the future. So they still don't do it. Like they just don't know what kind of ramification it's going to have down the line. Because when I was 16 and I was a waitress, like I claimed like a quarter of my tips just so it didn't look like I was just straight lying.
Right.
But
as I worked in some restaurants later in life, they made you claim all the credit card tips because there was a paper trail.
That's what most of the pizza places
But the cash you just stuck in your pocket, and they didn't require you to claim that because they can't really prove it. I mean, what's the boss going to go into your your pocket and pull out your cash? Like, how can you prove that was from a table?
Right.
But
yeah, Uber could make this easier for people by just always sending a 1099.
Yeah, it's very confusing. Like,
know why they don't want it. I get they're cutting costs, but like,
what
are
do
you
it digitally?
Really
like, you don't.
They
even
do it
have
digitally anyways.
Yeah,
right?
I know. So what's the big deal? Why can't they just do it?
I don't know why they won't just.
Why don't you know?
Because I don't know why Uber does things.
There's got to be some tax loop that they're doing it so they don't have to pay something else out. I think otherwise, I don't know why they would.
No, they already pushed the entire tax burden out onto us, so it's not helping them.
Right? Yeah. Whatever.
But
Efforts.
just the fact that people,
you have to file your taxes.
Right. Yeah. Who wrote tests?
All income has to be reported to the IRS. You have to pay taxes on all of it unless specifically stated so by Congress.
You can deduct the first 400, right?
There are people who believe things like that, though. That's what's sad. They're like, but
what's
you don't
the first 400? I can deduct
it's
that.
Like the first. If you only make $600, like you don't have to claim it. So some people are like, well, you don't claim the first 600 then, right? Like, no, you do. You claim all of it.
Crazy. All right. Let's do shenanigans and we'll get the hell out of here. First one up for me. Why do you drive?
Late.
I drive to pay for my tattoos. I just thought it was kind of funny. Like, what is your reason why you drive? You always see sometimes funny ones in the profile. I drive for my kids or I drive for this, but I thought that was kind of funny. My kids.
I drive to get away
from my kids. So this guy drives to pay for his tattoos.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Jesper, I got this one for you.
Oh, you got it for me? I only know one buddy at this. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I don't see any bathroom in California.
Oh, come on. It's any fucking bathroom in California.
Hey, that's not me. That's you. That's not me. I did it in a Gatorade bottle and put it in the toolbox inside the car. Suddenly my elbow hit the bottle. Okay, how can you? Anyways, my elbow hit the bottle and the bottle fell down. I used a lot of fabrics
and perfume to clean it.
Wow.
Fabrics. How do you?
Struggle
yes,
I'm guessing English is their second language.
Yeah,
like yours,
like mine. Yeah, there you go. So,
Heyo!
That's why you gave it to me. Now I know.
That's actually
so
not.
So there's one person at this table who uses a Gatorade bottle, and it's not me.
But I think you're smart enough not to put it anywhere you're going to knock it over.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
Jason left it in his car one time when somebody cleaned it up and took.
That's rude. I never did that. What are you talking about? You're off the podcast. Yes, I have a Gatorade pee bottle. Okay, so none of these people at this table work outside. If you work outside and I have the utility to pee wherever I want, what am I going to do? Every time I have to go pee, go to a bathroom? I got to get work done.
Yeah, like every woman in the world does.
Well, I'm sorry you're a woman. You should have been born with a penis.
Not that hard.
Yeah, but if what if you're stuck out in the country and you got?
I will hold it.
No, that's not good to hold it. Megan, my wife, hates it because I have no bladder tolerance because I can just go whenever. Like when I'm at work, like I'm just going to the Gatorade bottle. I mean, it's just like whatever. And she's like, "You can't hold your pee." I'm like, "No. If I have any pressure, like if during the podcast, I have to pee right before we start because if not."
Like, what do you do on road trips? You just pee in the car with the kids in the back?
No, I can't do it. I get stage fright. I tried once. Megan and I were driving to I think we were going to Nashville. And she was driving, and I was in the passenger. I had to pee so bad. I'm like, we're making good time. I don't want to get off. And I tried. I couldn't go. I'm like, all right, get off at the next exit. Oh, man.
Okay, all right, so next up.
Stage fright.
This is funny.
So this next one is a post from a local group. I think it was anyways. Yeah, local group. And she says, I went against the rules today and shot with someone else. Boy, do I regret it. They were the worst. Didn't help one bit. Didn't talk to me. Just wanted to sit there and watch me. Never doing that again. And for those of you on the podcast, there's a picture, and it's a shopping cart at the bottom of it, and there's a praying mantis just kind of chilling out at the bottom of the cart.
It's a cool picture.
Do you know what I heard about praying mantises? This is the craziest thing. So Horizon Hydroponics, there's a couple of stores around town. Well, they sponsor another show I listened to, and they had a little like garden segment or whatever. And you can buy at the beginning of the year an egg pod of praying mantises. It has like 50 to 100, and you throw it in your garden, and you won't have any bugs the rest of the year. And they fight to the death. And whoever wins that's the one. But the whole summer, you just have praying mantises walking around eating all your bugs so they don't eat your bugs. Yeah. I know. I thought it was.
Praying mantises are ruthless.
Yeah, and I feel kind of bad for the other ones.
Especially the ladies.
Yeah.
I feel bad for.
They literally bite your head off.
So I should get some praying mantises to get rid of all my mosquitoes. Do they get rid of mosquitoes?
I'm not sure.
I don't know if they can catch a mosquito.
No, it's going to be mostly like bugs that.
Ladybugs and.
Well, ladybugs
worms.
are good for your.
Yeah.
Ladybugs are terrible.
No, they're good for your garden.
Well, maybe for your garden.
But my point is, it's kind of badass that you just throw this egg bomb in your garden at the beginning of the season, and then they're like, yeah. And it's natural, although I feel bad for the ones that die. Not really. But, hey, just don't eat my effing broccoli, okay?
You grow broccoli?
Sam.
All right.
Yeah.
So this is another Reddit thread.
This is hilarious.
Pax left baggie of meth in my back seat. What would you do? So I'm not a drug expert, but I'm pretty sure it was crystal. I looked up the taste and gave it a dab to be sure. What do you do? I don't want to call the guy and be like, hey, did you forget your speed? On the hand.
On the other hand?
Yes. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you can't read it verbatim. You gotta kind of read ahead.
I don't want him calling me, where's my speed? It's a really small amount, like a sugar packet size baggie. Worst part is the next passenger found it. Thankfully, she didn't suspect it was mine. Any experiences? Report the packs. Don't bother. Edit. Wow, pearl clutchers. Yes, I tasted it. I'm a product of American television. I'm a taxi driver, not a... Wait, that's not how this goes.
Pearl clutchers.
Someone responded, you seriously stuck a dab of an unidentified chemical in your mouth? He says, I did. I'm a scientist like that. It was a drug baggie and all that. I've done worse. Believe me.
What the hell?
Wow.
I mean,
this article had me at pearl clutchers.
Yeah.
I don't even know what that's from. Is that from like a...
It's just like because old ladies.
It's that shock
like
that people
old people
have, the judgment.
Yeah.
Oh,
they clutch
okay.
their pearls when they're in
Oh,
shock.
I was thinking like purse clutcher.
No.
I don't know.
No.
They clutch their pearls when they find out their son
Like
who's
judgy
clearly
old
gay,
I thought
is
it was
definitely gay. Like,
I thought it was something sexual.
no.
Anyways.
Of course.
But
What do you mean, of
what
course?
was I watching? I was watching something weird the other day, and this dude's
Hurry
just
up,
like,
the music is on.
No, it's a Connected on Netflix, and this guy, he's going around the world showing like different ways the world's connected, and they're in this desert that is all like bones that have ground up from old species, and the first thing he does is grab a piece of like the sand and put it in his mouth. I'm like, why do you need to know what this tastes like?
Yeah, why do people put stuff in their mouth that's like unidentified? Like that's just the weirdest thing. Although guys are kind of gross. Like my son, like if he farts, he goes. I mean, he sniffs it right away. I'm like, what is it with guys? Like, you're like, hey man, this smells really bad. Let me smell it.
It's the wet paint thing, right?
I don't know. It's the craziest thing.
It is wet.
It is wet, and now I have paint on my finger. Well, anyway, guys, thank you so much. Sorry I got blocked on Facebook towards the tail end.
Oh, wow.
We'll dispute it. It's fine. We'll just say we're a news source. Ben and I did that before, and it worked.
Oh, okay, cool. Irvine's
Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid.
There you go. Look them up on Facebook.
Like them on Facebook.
Like their page.
Yep, 532-6600 or irvines.com. You can find us all on the social medias, all that other stuff. And I don't We don't have anything exciting coming up.
Exciting new sponsor coming.
We have a new sponsor. Yes.
We'll talk all about them next time.
Hopefully, if we can
nail it down.
Nail it down. Thank you.
There you go.
All right, guys. Thanks so much. Have a good night.
Thank you so much for listening and watching and all that stuff.